Hello again to all my fellow rock tumblers. Welcome back to the channel. Let's start a new rock tumbling batch. This time, we're going to take this pile of rocks that my wife Kindra found out in West Texas and get them tumbled and polished. Just about all of these are going to be agates. Many of them have been cut, either as part of our great Kindra Scott rock-off series or just cut because Kindra likes to cut rocks and see what's on the inside. Some of these, like this one, have that beautiful, let's say, light blue shade. Others are going to have, well, here you see this will have banding in it, some quartz in the middle. Oh, there's a whole variety of stuff we're going to find in here. I think this will be a really nice batch of rocks once they're finished. Will I be right? Well, probably, but we'll find out. This looks like it's going to be some sort of purplish Jasper-y material right here. Let's see, what else do we have in here? This is one of those biscuits that was cut open. A little bit of banding, yeah. Let's look at this. Oh, here's some, this is an example of one that has not been cut. This is just one that she picked up out there. This is what you find when you walk out on a private property, keep your head down. You spot little rocks like this, little agates. What will this one look like once it's tumbled? Obviously, it's not going to be perfectly smooth. You see it's got way too many pits, but I'll make it smooth enough so that it can take on a decent shine. Anything else interesting before we get started? Another cut one. Look at that. Ooh, that's pretty. One of those biscuits again. So let's go ahead and get all of these rolling in the coarse grit. I'll keep them going until they get, well, pretty smooth. Not perfectly smooth, but pretty smooth. Ooh, look at that one. That's pretty. Once these are nice and smooth, I'll bring them back in here and I'll show you what they look like before moving them onto the polishing stages in the vibratory tumbler. After just a couple of weeks of coarse grit grinding, Kindra's West Texas rocks are ready to move on to the polishing stages. These should be pretty special once we get a shine on them. Look at this one here. Ooh. Just imagine these really shiny and those details within there coming out much more clearly. Oh yeah, even this one here, which in this condition doesn't look that obvious, but I'm telling you, once we get this one shined, you see that different color there and the line, that little bit of banding, that should really start to look good. Some of these, well yeah, even this one, check that out. That's gonna have some great banding in it there. I know, Kindra and I like our rocks differently, but I'm starting to enjoy the way she prefers to have hers tumbled with much more of the natural imperfections on them. I think these will be pretty special once we get them shined up. Look at some of these here. Ooh, the V rock. Now that's going to be something. So, will these be beautiful once we get them polished? I think they will, and we're going to find out. Oh, look at this interesting one here. We're going to find out because what I'm going to do next is get all of these in the vibratory tumbler. And I'm going to go for about 12 days. I'll use 4 different grits. And once I'm finished with that final 14,000 grit aluminum oxide polish, I'm going to bring all these back in here and I'll show you what they look like. It has taken about a month, but Kindra's West Texas rocks are finally finished. What do you think? We got us some shiny rocks. Did we get some good ones in this batch? I think we did. Let's take a closer look at some of the nicer ones and you tell me if you agree. Now, I'll begin with this colorful one here. Look at the purple in this rock. I remember when we found this stuff, there was an area out at the Coconut 06 Ranch which had lots of this purplish rock, this Jasper-y agate rock. Turned out it was mostly fractured. We tried slabbing several of the pieces and they, for the most part, just broke on us. However, this piece was big enough to throw in the tumbler and look how beautiful it turned out. Kindra picked up several of these pieces with the quartz seams in them. Not a huge fan myself, but turns out once these get tumbled and polished like this, they're actually kind of cool. And as you can see, there are some other details within the Caledney, which, at least to my eye, make these more interesting. Several of these rocks are like this. They're very pitted on the outside. I only coarse grit tumbled them for a couple of weeks, which meant that these were never going to get smooth. It's okay though, because with rocks like this, it's more fun to look for really nice areas within all this. And in this case, it's very easy to find. We have a window here, which shows some quartz and some chalcedony and some banding. And over here, there's just a little one right there too. So on that score, these are a lot of fun. This little chunk of chalcedony is kind of interesting. Let me show you why. It looks rather plain, not a great tumble, really not too interesting until you notice these little inclusions. You see them right in there? Aren't those fun? What are those? You can just see it there. Let me see. Yeah, right in there. And there they are again. So at least this rock has something going for it. In this batch, Kindra has a couple of these dark ones like this, which I think are beautiful. They aren't perfectly tumbled, as you can see, and they do have some soft areas on them, but notice the colors in there. That pinkish color, I think that's really pretty. Yeah, I think this is a good looking rock. I'm pretty sure these went together at one time, probably one of Kindra's rock-off rock entries. I have to hold on very carefully because these are slick, especially with these gloves. Nice chunk of chalcedony there. Very pretty color. The inside, well, it's quartzy. And it has a lot of that white in there, which I don't think is leftover slurry. I tried to clean the heck out of these things. I believe that is just the color of that material. You can see it on the outside here, how it just stayed really white. Don't know what that is. I wonder if this one won the rock off or lost. I thought you might want to see this small one here. When you get in close, you can really start to see the details of this. It is sort of a red mossy agate with some other good looking stuff in there, right? This might have been, yes, this was probably the cut surface right here. I'm guessing. It looks like it was cut. Had a big fracture in it. Still though, I think a really pretty rock. This appears just to be a chunk of jasper, a small piece of jasper. I believe that's what this is. Look closely there. Not a great tumble, I know. That's okay, that's how Kindra likes them. Nice colors in this one. Now here's another one of those pitted rocks, which now that I look at it more closely, it looks like it does have some of the, probably the final polish slurry still in there. I guess I could have done a better job cleaning these. I suppose I should have thrown them in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I didn't. Still, I wanted you to see this one because, not so much to show off my poor cleaning, but because of this view here. Look at that. That's really pretty. And we got the other side. Not quite as pretty. Okay, so this one looks like it is cleaned. I don't see a lot of the white slurry in those pits. And look at this, we have another one with some beautiful banding and a little bit of quartz. Check out this darker one here. Yes, it looks like it might be a little dirty in those pits. But if you look here, you see it does have some really dark detail in there. Some banding, it looks like. That is a really pretty chunk of chalcedony, albeit one that is not so perfectly tumbled and perhaps a little dirty. Moss agate time. Look at this little one here. Yeah, that side's pretty, but I really like this side. It's one of those typical West Texas moss agates, the golden mossy agate that we find all over the place out there. Remember, these rocks were all just picked up by Kindra as we were walking on that private property. This appears to be one of the little biscuits that we probably used in the Rock Off series. This must have been one of her entries, and if you look closely, it appears to be somewhat sagenitic. I think that's what I'm seeing there, maybe. A little sagenitic, perhaps. It's really hard to tell looking through my phone screen. Well, either way, it's interesting looking. Check it out. I think I just found the other half of the one that I just showed you. In fact, I'm sure it is. I held them up together. So this was the other half, which, to my eye anyway, is a lot better looking. And in fact, I think that is Sagenite in there. Still not 100% sure. Has some nice features though. I just love tumbling these small West Texas biscuits because once you grind down that skin on the outside, you reveal all kinds of really beautiful things. Here's a good example of what I was just talking about. This was some sort of biscuit that got ground down. This is the cut face, and yeah, there's interesting stuff there. But look over here. I really like that stuff into that dark, well, I'm just gonna call those inclusions. It's, not sure what it is, but it's pretty, whatever it is. And I really like the way it contrasts with the light colored Caledney. Here's one half of an awesome rock that got tumbled and polished, and rest assured, I know where the other half is, and you're gonna see that one a little bit later. Doesn't look like much on the outside, just very dark. But when I turn it over and I get the light just right, which is not easy to do, well, I think you can see there's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. You see that water line there, and then if you look closely, you got the two different shades of the Caledney in there. I do remember this as being one of the rock-off rocks, and I'm pretty sure she kicked my butt with this one. I really like the agates that tumble and polish like this one. This is the outside. You need to go back to the beginning of this video because I'm pretty sure you can spot this one. It was a cut agate that had this beautiful light blue-gray Caledney interior and all this dark stuff on the outside. Well, you see what happens to it once you get it rolling in the coarse grit for a couple of weeks. It gives you those flat surfaces that then polish brilliantly. And I think the overall effect is just superb. I hope you agree. Look at this beauty here. I think we started the video with showing you one of these. Quartzy yet banded with all that Caledney along the edge. Doesn't that make for a beautiful rock? Oh yes, here's one of those West Texas biscuits that we used in the rock off. You can see on the outside it was like two biscuits in one. This then was the cut surface that we would have used for our great Kindra Scott rock-off game, and I don't remember if this one won or lost, but there is sure a lot going on inside of that. Is it Sagenite? I'm not sure. It's cool looking whatever it is though, right? Especially the way that outer shell ground down to reveal all that interesting stuff. We are down to the top 3 rocks in this batch. This is the bronze medal winner. Doesn't look like much here, right? You're looking at it thinking, how could that be the 3rd best rock in this batch? Well, check out this view here. I like that. So it was another one of those biscuits that we cut open, probably for the rock off. And that's what got revealed. Beautiful pinkish colored opaly material in the middle. You got the quartz, and then you got the Caledney. I guess we could call this the apostrophe agate. I'm calling this one the silver medal winner, the 2nd best. It is a stunning, colorful moss agate. Look at that. Ooh, I sure do like these kinds of agates. Oh, I could stare at these for hours. So much to see. Really nice colors in this one. So this is the 2nd best of the batch. Before I show you the best of the batch, I forgot to include this one. This is just another one of those colorful ones like I opened this video with, this polishing phase of the video. Look at the detail in this. I did not want to end this video without showing you this one. Because if you're like me, you just enjoy looking at these beautiful West Texas rocks. Now for the gold medal winner, the best of the batch. This is the other half of one I showed you just a few moments ago. Let's see if we can get zoomed in on this one here. There you go. You see the color and the banding, the different colors in there. They're very dark, but how beautiful. And then check out the shine that it took. That was a really good mirror-like finish. What a good looking rock. Let's see, what about the other half? So I'm saying this was once, so if I can do this, one rock. Got cut in half, probably for our contest, and that's what got revealed. The best of the batch. Thank you all so very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We got some good rocks. Kindra's always picking up good ones when she's out there rock hounding near Alpine, Texas. It's amazing what you can pick up out there. And what I like to do is pick up a bunch of them, get them home, throw them in the tumbler, get them polished, and hope for the best. In this case, I think she hit it out of the park. I hope you agree. If you like videos like this, please check my playlist. I've got lots more of these rock tumbling videos for you to enjoy. Thanks again for watching.